Welcome back to our next installment of 5 Minutes in Indian Trail. This time, I'm proud to be joined by Captain Kevin James of the Union County Sheriff's Office. Today, we'll be talking about your safety, the move-over law, and how to interact with law enforcement should you get pulled over. Captain James, I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Mike. First, I'd like to start by talking about personal safety for you, your family, and your property. There are a few easy things you can do. One, lock your doors, both your home and your vehicle. Every time you leave your car, you should make sure the doors are locked and all valuables are out of sight. Also, make sure your garage doors are closed and any outbuildings are locked up. Two, maintain situational awareness at all times. Know what's going on in your surroundings, even simple trips to the grocery store. Keep handbags, backpacks, and other items under your arm or secure. There is less of a chance someone will grab it. Three, stay off your phone. If you're staring at your phone in the store or on the street, you're not paying attention to the people and cars around you.
Excellent suggestions on how our residents can stay safe. What advice do you have if one of our residents happens to get pulled over by one of your deputies or another law enforcement officer?
Well, Mike, my first piece of advice is to obey the speed limit and follow traffic laws so you don't get pulled over. But just in case you do, here's some things to remember. First, if an officer pulls you over, they may initiate the lights, the siren, or both. Once you're aware of an officer behind you, pull to a safe location, but don't stop in the middle of the street. If you can't immediately get off the main thoroughfare, slow down and turn on your hazard lights to let the officer know you acknowledge him. If you happen to get pulled over at night, there's nothing wrong with calling 911 to assure it's a legitimate officer. Many cars also have access to OnStar. You can call them as well, and they'll stay on the line with you until you're sure. Once you get stopped, the officer will approach the vehicle either on the driver's side or the passenger side. As they approach the car, they'll check to make sure the trunk or hatch is secure to ensure there is not a threat there. The officer will approach slowly, especially at night. Turn on your interior lights so they have a clear view of what's going on inside the car. Have your license and registration ready. If either one is not readily available, or if you have a weapon in the car, don't make sudden movements as the officer approaches. Put your hands on the steering wheel and tell them you need to retrieve your registration or your license, or that you have a weapon in the car. Remember, the officer doesn't know you or who you are, just like you don't know them. If the officer doesn't tell you why they stopped you, don't hesitate to ask. Depending on the nature of the stop, the officer will go back to the crew to check your license and registration and issue the proper paperwork, whether it be a written warning or a citation. Please, no matter what, don't argue with the officer and turn a simple citation into something more. If you disagree with the ticket, go to court. We know it's stressful to get pulled over. Remain calm and be respectful of the officer. They are expected to treat you the same way.
Great points. If you're driving and see an officer pull someone over or see other emergency vehicles or even construction crews, what should you do?
Mike, this pertains to the North Carolina move-over law, which was a result of so many first responders getting hit and injured or killed when responding to a situation along the roadway. The law requires motorists to slow down and approach cautiously when an emergency vehicle is stopped on the shoulder of the road with its lights flashing. Drivers should move to another lane on a multi-lane highway or slow down on a two-lane highway. If you don't obey this law and strike an officer or an emergency vehicle or a worker and there is no injury, it's a misdemeanor with a minimum $500 fine and court costs. If there are injuries, it's a felony. The move-over law is so important. It really does save lives.
Captain James, thanks for being with us today. This has been very informative. You have provided us excellent information on how to keep ourselves and our law enforcement officers safe every day. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Thank you, Mike. I'd just like to mention two more things. First, thank you to everyone who supports our deputies every day. It's an honor to serve the Indian Trail community. And lastly, the Union County Sheriff's Office is always looking for good people to join our team. If you're interested, visit our website at unioncountyssheriffsoffice.com to learn more.